I guess I'm live again. I'm not entirely sure what just happened, but cool. It just said disconnected from the streaming server. I was like, well, fine. I'm not sure what just happened.
I think the Hadouken may have knocked the internet out.
Yeah, I
The little
Hadouken.
spell you just
I was like,
said.
Hadouken! And it was like done. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Hopefully they return. I gotta find.
What just happened there, dude? Did that happen before ever?
That's never happened. I don't know. Am I live?
I think so. No?
Are you sure you're on the right one, homie?
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah, I have no idea what just happened. It's just, YouTube was like, nah, dog, you ain't streaming no more. Sweetwater Brewing, huh? Sorry, guys. I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully you're back. Look how cute that is. It's adorbs. Hi, man. Michael Afton, welcome to the stream. How you doing, man? You have a good week? I'm... The Hadouken make the... Yeah, I don't know what happened. Hopefully all my viewers come back. My stream just got cut off on me and out of nowhere. Not sure what happened with that. Like, what? So if I'm trying to...
The webpage is still going, though. That's weird.
What is?
I mean, the webpage was still on.
I think maybe there's just a bad connection with the YouTube server. If I run a speed test right now... Let's see. It takes 46 years to find an optimal server on here for some reason. But we'll see, you know. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Michael.
Oh, dear.
What? Bless you. Your week was horrible. Oh, that's not good, man. What happened? I'm sorry you had a bad week. That sucks, dude.
Thing is 6.
See? No issues. If you're back, welcome back. I'm not sure what happened. It just went boop, cut me off. Guess the mic doesn't need to be so close to me since it's picking up my voice. Oh, look at that. No issues.
Faster than my connection.
School assignment after assignment. Well, don't let school. Welcome back. Thank you, Socrates. I have no idea what happened. I think it was just the streaming server to YouTube from my third-party software was like, nah, dog, can't have it right now. So kicked me off. Not sure why. School assignment after assignment, couldn't get anything in my house to work. Sorry to hear that, Michael. That sucks, man. Don't let school stress you out. Whether it's college, whether it's high school, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not worth it. It's just not. You're gonna have horrible weeks, and it sucks, dude. But trust me, those aren't the best weeks of your life. School's not the best place of your life. You know, there's so much more to it. Don't let it stress you out, man. I'm sorry you had a crappy week. Thank you for welcoming me back, Socrates. Love Bites Brazil fans. I once broke my cousin's nose while playing Street Fighter with him. Yeah, I was a messy girl. How did you break his nose while playing a video game? You're supposed to play the video game, not his face. So I've never broken... Well, maybe I have. I've never... went to the doctor for a broken nose. I've gotten playing basketball and stuff. I've gotten hit pretty hard a couple times. Where there's one where I thought my nose was for sure broke. I've broken my wrist, and it's hard to see here, but like this bone, you can kind of see it sticking up right there. It's supposed to connect into my shoulder. It doesn't, so that's why it kind of sticks up right there, and you can kind of move it around. I've done things like that. You all right? Oh, my school ends in July. Is it high school? Is it college? Are you graduating? Do me a favor.
What's up?
You want to go grab me a drink?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What kind?
Can you grab me one of these?
Yeah.
Just toss it. Can you toss these two things while you're down there? Or these three things?
Right away, master. Right away.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. It's so nice having a moderator live and in person who can actually help me out. He's beautiful.
Yes, sir. You're right back, son.
So everyone see that's my buddy Brian in the background. That's YouTube Real Estate. He's the one that mods the channel all the time. He happens to be my neighbor now, so he could stop by whenever. That's really cool. He's a nice guy. He was a great guy. All right, Michael, are you messing with me, man? Where are you from? Because that might mean something different. Socrates, I've broken both my arms and my nose, not at the same time, though. Well, that's probably a good thing, not at the same time. No, we were recreating the struggles in real life. I did the Hadouken movement, and he hit him in the face, and he still dislocated my index finger. Every base we were stationed at knew us on site. On the side of the car pulling in, that is. Socrates just did you dirty.
He did?
Yeah.
Why?
More of a mod waiter instead of a moderator. Oh. He's just being nice. He's just being a nice guy. In Canada, elementary schools go from kindergarten to grade 8. So you're getting out of 8th grade. Wow, you're young, Michael. If you're that young, dude, do not let school stress you out. Trust me. It's not worth it. I'm going to tell you right now, the people you know in high school, except for rare occasions, right? No, it's not worth it, man. Don't let school that young. You're about to go into high school. Don't let that stress you out, man. It really isn't worth it. You got the rest of your life ahead of you. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I used to say all the time, I can't wait until I'm out of high school. I can't wait to be an adult. I can't wait to drive a car. I can't wait to have a real job. I'll show everyone. And then, you get out of high school and you get a nice reality check and life slaps you in the face. And you go, wow, I want to go back to high school when times were much easier, when the responsibilities that I had weren't there, So I know it may seem like it's sucky right now, Michael, but try to enjoy it as much as you can. Because if I could go back to high school, I probably wouldn't, but it was still a much simpler time. It was still a much simpler time.
Oh, yeah. That was the time of my life. 8th grade.
Yeah.
Going to high school.
Emergency room. Man, I can't wait to be a kid again. Yeah, you're not joking, man. That's why I love watching, like, I don't know, I relate to my imaginative side to being like a kid again. Like I love fantasy stuff. I love like wizards and dragons and all that nerdy stuff. Like that makes me feel like a kid. It makes my imagination go, and like I enjoy that stuff. Um, Brazil fan says I was a girl possessed by the spirit of confusion, where there was confusion. There I was today. I'm 25. The scars were left. I think we're all confused at some point in our lives. I mean, that's just, especially, I think one of the hardest parts of your life are and I could be wrong, and this could be at all times about, and said about any part of your life. I think the hardest part of your life, typically for most people, is between probably the ages of like 22 to 30. Right, because you're getting out of high school or college, and you're trying to just figure out what the hell you're supposed to do. Well, it's like if you're getting out of high school, do I go to college or do I just start working? Do I find a career? Am I miserable in that career? And so I think your 20s, I think, are some of the most, a lot of the most fun that you'll have, but it's also the most stressful and the most difficult because it's hard to figure out what you're going to do, especially nowadays. The economy is garbage, and that's just not the United States. It's everywhere. The economy is garbage. The cost of living, inflation, everything kind of sucks right now, right? So just don't let things stress you out, man. I mean, just enjoy the moment, enjoy what you got, and just try to be as positive as possible because it's kind of hard right now, and I get that. I ain't going to college or university and I get the chance. Hey, that's okay. Nothing, don't ever feel like you should, I felt compelled to go to school, to go to college directly out of high school because I felt like if I did that, if I didn't do that, if I didn't go to college or as you refer to it, or university, that I would be a disappointment. I was going to disappoint my family or my brother or my friends. Like I would be that loser who doesn't have a college degree, right? Especially like my brother's a senior master sergeant in the Air Force. He's traveled the world. He's serving our country, and he's really successful. So it's hard not to kind of like compare yourself in situations. But I'm doing just fine. I stopped going to college because it wasn't my thing, and I worked my butt off, and now I have a great job. I work from home permanently. I make decent money, and I can't complain, right? Your mind might change later in life. Absolutely. There's never a point which you can't go back to college, right? I mean, if you ever make that decision and you decide you want to do it, go for it. There's nothing that should hold you back from that.
I'm sad I went to college. Wow.
I went into the Marine Corps at 17, just 10 days after I graduated high school. Hey, much respect. Thanks for serving our country. Mine changes. Me goes to college at 56. There's nothing wrong with that, man. It's never too late. You gotta do what you gotta do. Honestly, for the longest time, I still kind of do want to go back to school at some point to get my MBA. I'd love to get my master's in business administration because that's outside of my music. That's what I do a lot of. I do a lot of client work, a lot of client success. My current position is a client success manager. There's nothing wrong with that. There's people all over the place that are going back, just getting a degree and finishing their education because it's important to them, right? It doesn't matter how old you are.
Universities offer free college now. You're over 50 or 60.
Yeah. I think of like Switzerland or so it's either Switzerland or Sweden. Their colleges, their universities are free. YouTube allows people to make random people mods. Also, YouTube, it's free real estate. So YouTube Real Estate is actually my buddy. He's actually sitting in the room with me.
Hi guys.
So he's not a random person. He's been a mod for over a couple months now. My oldest brother and his wife went to get their masters in their 40s. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, good for them. I said eventually I'd like to go back and get my master's in business administration, but it's just money, right? Money is a difficult thing, and I don't want to take out loans. I hate owing money. That's like a personal thing for me. I do not like owing money to things. Like I busted my ass to never miss bills, pay my bills on time, all time, have an awesome credit score, like. And I don't like the thought of that being threatened by taking out loans for school. I mean, which it's easy. It's easy to say, well, just pay them. You're right, it is. But I also don't. Getting a master's in business administration is expensive as hell. Okay. Confusion has a different context here in Brazil. Sorry, my mistake. That's okay. You don't have to apologize. She was agitated and playful. She was always acting like one of the characters in Jackass. That's a good way to put it. So are you talking about yourself in third person, or are you talking about somebody else? Because just the way you put it there was kind of confusing. In the American sense, I'm confused. Student loans are a weight for sure. Absolutely. No, absolutely. I hate any type of debt. I don't like it. And so it's funny because like for my job, one of the things, I'm not going to go too in depth about it, but one of the big things for them in regards to success and anything along the lines of that is making sure you have the right people in the right seats for the position for the job. And a lot that comes down to everybody's got their own strengths. And, because what I work with business coaches. So I work with basically former presidents, CEOs, COOs, who basically they go in and they help structure and rebuild companies to help them grow after they've hit certain points, right? And one of the biggest things is learning that everybody's a little bit different. There's right people for right seats, and they're going to get it, they're going to want it, and they need to have the capacity to do it. And so that's like and one thing that I've learned about myself that's kind of helped is like I took this thing. It's called the Kolbe. It's like a personality test, and my Kolbe came out to what is called an 8-8. My numbers, it's like a ranking out of 1 through 10, right? 10 is really strong in that particular trait. 1 is least strong. So I came out to an 8-8-1-4, which means I'm a high fact finder, a high follow through, a very low quick start, and a 4, which is like right in the middle of an implementer. And what that means is that I'm not a big risk taker. I don't take huge risks. In fact, I won't do anything that is considered a risk. In fact, I won't jump on, make a decision unless I've taken the time to look into it. I've taken the time to research it. I've looked it up, went through it in detail, and just kind of really made that decision. And what's cool about that is because, like, obviously I'm not going to go in depth, but I get to kind of go through it and I get to learn things, and I'm reading things that make me go, that makes so much sense as to kind of why I think that way in certain situations. And that's kind of like they make a lot of these people take these so they can understand, some people do better in seats because of those particular things, so it's been an interesting thing to learn. And what's even cooler about it is how accurate it is and how well it's worked. But yeah, no, I'm missing some messages here. Michael says, I accidentally bashed my knee off the edge of my bed because I was trying to get my charger to work. Hey, I've been there. I've been there in the dark trying to plug in my phone charger and I fall off my bed or I miss it and my face hits the wall or I've done it, man. I get it. Socrates, my wife is 34 and on her 3rd year in med school. That's awesome. What's she going for? That's really cool. Congrats. That has to sting, absolutely. Dude, knees are no joke. I've been through physical therapy for both of my knees for basketball. I definitely know knee pain. Brazil. For you to understand that I'm talking about me, I was unable to formulate the context in my head. My English is average. No, your English is better than my English. No, your English is not average. Your English is amazing. Like, I'm pretty sure your English is better than my English. And what was that? Did you hear that? What is that?
I'm not sure what it was.
I'm hearing noise.
It sounded like a horn. Like an alarm or something.
Hearing noises. No, you don't have to apologize. Trust me, your English is awesome. And I'm sure everyone else in this chat can back me up on how good your English is. I like to watch lives to practice the English that I hear, since I'm reading much better. But speaking, I am terrible. I think you're doing great, so don't put yourself down at all. I think you're killing it. You're doing amazing. And if you have any questions about something that I say, don't hesitate to ask me. Don't feel silly. Don't feel stupid. Don't really, everyone here is going to be polite, because if no one's polite, they know that I will kick their ass out of this chat really quick. So if you have any questions about anything that somebody says, don't feel silly or embarrassed about it. Just ask. Seriously. Emergency medicine, her bedside manner is lacking comparable to Dr. House. Yeah, it's all right. I think, and that comes back to Socrates. I look at that as facts don't care about your feelings, right? And I can relate to that, because when it comes to like being an emotional or an empathetic person, I'm not at all. I'm terrible when it comes to empathy or feeling the pain of others. So I come across more blunt for people. Like, yeah, that sucks, but here's the situation. Like, deal with it. Like, you're going to have to figure this out. Like, you can mope about it. You can.
Especially if it's like concerning someone else's life and they're feeling about things.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't care. And it's something that I obviously have to work on. It's something that I need to work on, is being more empathetic. But it's just me naturally, how I am, how I've grown up. Unless I can relate it to something super personal within my life, or unless it directly affects me, I have a hard time of feeling empathetic or understanding the pain or whatever it is that this other person is going through. So I can understand that, Socrates. Most Americans can't even pass the English proficiency test for U.S. citizenship. I probably couldn't pass it. I mean, let's be honest. I'm also learning Japanese. It is a comparable challenge to climbing Mount Everest without equipment and completely naked. That seems impossible, actually. But no, that's awesome. You're doing great. I can't even speak English right. See, I didn't even do it there. It's probably I can't speak English correctly. But no, you don't ever have to apologize. You're doing great. I need to stop eating these almonds, because I'm going to stick my finger in my eye again with sriracha on it, and I'm going to cry. Nailed it.
Like cherries or something?
I don't know.
Totemo oishii desu. It's quite amazing considering video games only have limited content when they're speaking.
My English I learned playing video games. Thousands of hours playing RPGs. I never took a course. That's awesome.
That's significant
You know,
right there.
See, the thing is though, I 100% believe that. So when I was younger, in 1999, a game called RuneScape came out. And I would have been what? I would have been 6 years old, but I didn't actually see. I don't think I started playing until I was like 8 or 9. Maybe around 7 actually. It was probably, I think it was like kindergarten to first grade. I actually saw my brother playing an RPG, and everyone probably heard of RuneScape at some point. And I went on after him when it was my turn on the computer. We had dial-up internet, and I searched his history to see what game he was playing because I wanted to be like my big brother. And I created an account. I learned how to do all of that, and I started playing RuneScape. And honestly, my typing skills and my reading ability, a lot of that came from playing video games, from playing RuneScape and learning and having to read what other people chatted and having to read. I'm pretty sure my first ever girlfriend was on RuneScape when I was like 9 years old, right? Like,
Oh wow.
that's how I got some recognition of some Japanese characters. Okay. I played all the Final Fantasies that has news. I've never played a Final Fantasy game. You?
No,
No.
I heard they're making a new one though.
I heard they're amazing. I heard some of them are really good, but there's like 400 of them. So it's like some are good, some are bad. There's like particular ones people love, and I just never knew.
Yeah, it's a deep series for sure. I'm still waiting to buy Hitman, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, money's definitely a problem for me. I get it. Like I had to budget for get groceries today, like just to be able to feed myself for the next 2 weeks, just because of everything. With money wise, it's hard. I get it. Revelations, that is. Okay. My mom is from Spain and learned English watching Sesame Street with my older son, please. Okay. She, like, as in you didn't, but your mother learned English. That's cool. Why not?
What part of Spain was she from?
Oh, what part of Spain was she from? So Brian, my buddy, my good friend sitting next to me here, he actually is fluent in languages. Spanish. He's fluent in Spanish. I mean, is there a particular dialect that you would say that you're fluent in? And like
More like Castilian, Castellano,
Castellano,
Cuban.
So it's more of that because of Jessica then. Okay. So actually,
From Jessica and her mom, and then Castellano is what they teach you in
like trade school.
universities.
Okay. Very cool.
Seville. Oh, cool. Great. I've been to Seville. I've been to university in Spain before.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, for credits in college, I went to University of Valladolid, which is like an hour north of Madrid.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Stayed there for a month.
Oh, that's really cool. My brother was in Barcelona. He was stationed in Barcelona for a little bit when he was
Running of the Bulls, I think, is in Seville, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Michael, my knee hurts from when I bash it. Oh, dude, that sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear that. Get some ice. Ice that knee.
Spain's a beautiful place.
Yeah, my brother would. So before he got permanently stationed where he's at with his wife and he's married now, but he was in Aviano, Italy, for the majority of his tour. He was in Korea for a couple deployments. Part of Operation Red Flag in Alaska. Aviano. He was in Aviano, Italy, Barcelona, Spain. He went to Munich, Germany. Yeah, he traveled all over the place. That was one of the reasons too. I kind of regret not going into the military, is because you get that opportunity to travel. So, but my body's so jacked up now, now that's never gonna happen. Lovebite says I should have played them in original Japanese. Here it is. Impossible to find original Japanese game. My mom thought I was a boy. That's okay. You like what you like. There's nothing wrong with that. I was there about 9 years ago visiting my grandfather, uncle, and cousin. Oh, okay. Awesome, Socrates. That's very cool. Yeah, I would love. I want so badly to visit Europe, but then the more it's funny because like that was like my biggest thing because I love like the history in around like surrounding and all like the stuff surrounding like World War II, like with Hitler and Germany and like his architecture there was actually pretty amazing and like so that's why I've always wanted to visit like Europe to go check out Germany and check out stuff like that, but just Europe in general is such a historical place that I'd love to visit. But then the more I've done reaction videos and checked out like these Japanese bands and stuff, I'm like, now I want to go to Japan. And it's like, great, more places that I'll never be able to afford to go to, Especially now with the pandemic, who knows when it's actually going to be smart to do things like that. My late grandfather was Polish German. His family fled Poland because of the U.S. Oh wow, the USSR, and years later he had to flee Germany because of his mustache. Interesting. I don't know anything about German. Strudel may be delicious. That's awesome. That's crazy. Like I don't have any cool. I mean, I had a great. Like I guess he's like my great uncle who served in like he stormed the beaches of Normandy. Like I remember, as a little kid, my brother he passed away, but my brother got to talk to him when we were there, and I remember it vaguely and showing he had pictures of the beach, and it was pretty crazy. It was cool. And to think there's people who believe that stuff never happened. Isn't that crazy? It baffles me.
Crazy. Because the more like you go into Europe, the older it gets. Like history gets older, time gets older.
Yeah, that's why I'd love to visit Europe, and I'd love to visit Europe and just the history, and because I can read books about it, I can watch TV shows, but it's not. There's a different experience. Yeah, it's a different experience when you're actually there. Standing in the ground that those things happened on. It's almost like you can feel the vibe. It was like The running of the bulls isn't in Seville, but it is in southern Spain. Seville is known for bulls fighting in flamenco.
Flamenco, yeah. I actually saw a performance in Seville of the flamenco.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's a dance. It's like a style of dance.
The Little Mustache, the Crazy Austrian.
What?
So are you referring to like Hitler's mustache? Like, because I don't know if that, because now I'm like putting it together, and it's like his family fled Poland because of the USSR, and then years later he had fled Germany because of his quote unquote mustache. Is that because he had a mustache that was like Hitler? I don't know. Please clear that up for me or somebody else. Maybe I'm just ignorant to what the Brazil fans is talking about. Huh? Yeah, like.
Hitler for sure.
Are you saying you're related to Hitler? At that point, if people are angry.
Don't admit that's what I'm kidding. He said.
What?
It's like that's what I'm getting.
Okay. Are you? Is that what? Are you related to Hitler?
Like that's what I'm getting right there. Yeah. Like what?
Now I'm intrigued. Not that it's a bad thing. I'm genuinely intrigued. Adolf. Yeah, the crazy Austrian. The everyone says he's a failed artist, but he wasn't an artist. He was an architect. Like he was trying to be an artist, but what his real talent was architecture. And if you look at the architecture there in Germany and like where was my dad at? Near is it Munich? I want to say Munich. Like the architecture is awesome. No, you, the Austrian? I'm not Austrian. I'm so confused. Can someone help me? There are a lot of German transplants in Brazil. Really? I did not know that. Did you? Really? I'm interested. I should probably know that, but I don't. I'm thinking fled because of that would make more sense. That'd be cool. So real quick, not to sidetrack from the German talk. I was thinking it would be kind of cool. What would you guys think if I started trying to do interviews on my channel? Like interviews of different bands who'd be willing to do like a quick 15 to 20 minute interview where I can get them on like a Zoom call and I have just a brief 10 set questions for them. I can and reach out to them and just get them on a call and do something kind of different like that. Like and allow them to kind of plug themselves and kind of talk about what they have coming up and just kind of allow people to kind of get to know them a little bit more. Obviously, in a perfect world, getting, large bands to do something that would be very difficult, but I think that might be kind of a cool addition. I might be able to get some smaller bands to do it and get them on a quick call or do something like that, and I think that might be kind of cool to do. I know I might be able to get, there's a German band that I might be able to get a hold of that's fairly big. They're signed to Century Media Records, but I'm not going to say names or anything yet. I was just thinking to try to kind of do something a little bit different with the channel, and and just to kind of, I think it would be kind of cool to talk to the artists themselves. Maybe I can reach back out to some of the bands that have requested that I check out their music and react to their music and see if I can't schedule an interview with them. So I just think that might be kind of cool. Obviously, in a perfect world, you'd get Love Bites on, but in order to do that, I would have to get a translator and or bigger bands like that. I mean, eventually that'd be pretty cool. But I think that'd be fun to do because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of people forget that a lot of the artists that they listen to are just normal human beings. And I think that's always nice to know that they're not some special otherworldly being and they're just normal like you and I, right? Thinking they fled because of him post World War II. Okay, that would make sense. That's cool. I mean, that's cool. If that's cool family history, right? That's awesome. East Carolina Motocross and Donut Man said, yeah, that'd be cool. Good idea. The interviews. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to do that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Uday Maker says, please react to Zion Pillow Talk.
You don't want to hear it.
You know what that is, Brian?
Yeah. It's like R&B.
I mean, I'm always willing. I'm open to checking out different genres, so I can definitely put it down. I mean, I can't discriminate. It's not something I typically react to, but let's see.
It's a very sensual song.
5 years ago, it has 1 billion views. I feel like that'd probably I feel like that's probably something I'd probably get copyright hit for. But I'll keep it in mind. I'll think about it for sure. Don't man, you'd be surprised how many speak English. Yeah, I mean that'd be awesome. I mean I'm not too good to message, reach out via email and see what it would take to do that. I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be a cool experience. Imagine if I was able to get an interview with one of the members. Now that would be cool. Okay, Love Bites Brazil fans. Many Germans and Poles fled to Brazil because of Adolf. My old grandfather included. Here we have the largest German colony outside Germany, but I don't have green eyes or blonde hair. So, I mean, green eyes or blonde hair, blue eyes or blonde hair. I mean, you're basically referring to the Aryan race, right? Or what the perfect race that Hitler wanted. That's interesting. I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's cool history. I didn't know. I don't know why. I should probably have known that, but that's cool.
Yeah, Brazil seems like a random place to go.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm German. Let's go to Brazil. Now the war's over.
Well, and just out of curiosity, what was the reasoning for the choice of going to Brazil?
choice to me. That's all, you know. Want me to play Pillow Talk for you?
Hmm?
Want me to play Pillow Talk for you?
No. I can't because that music in the background will get, DMCA'd. Unfortunately. YMCA. Some Nazis fled to Brazil and South America after the war. Okay. Just look up Bolivian Germans. I can do that. All right, here we go. I'm going to finish eating some. German Bolivians, waves of immigration. German immigrants began to arrive in Bolivia in the 18th century, and many more arrived in the 19th century. During World War II, Bolivia ceased diplomatic relations with Germany and expelled many Germans. Many German Jews immigrated to Bolivia during the war. Bolivia's largest pharmaceutical company was founded by German immigrants. Ernesto Schilling-Hun, a substantial and growing part of the German population of Bolivia are Mennonites from Russia who are of German descent, language, and culture. These Mennonites started to immigrate in the 1950s with large waves of immigrants in the 1960s and 70s, mainly from Mexico and Paraguay. In 2012, there were 23,818 church members in the congregations of these Mennonites, indicating a total population of about 70,000. The total population of German Mennonites in Bolivia was estimated at 60,000, and that's as of 2010. Interesting. Okay. Or South America in general. Gotcha. Okay. Socrates, that's a big lie. Many came before the war and started to flee and not fight. My grandfather was 12 years old when he arrived here. He married a black woman. Interesting. Uday Maker, you won't react in this stream, live stream. Unfortunately, no. The reason being is because of most of the music that is requested and reacted to it's owned, right? That intellectual property is owned by the record label or the band themselves, and it's typically copyrighted. So by me doing a reaction video and uploading it, it's technically protected under the fair use law, as long as because I am technically editing it and making my own, doing a criticism of it and reacting to it and talking about the video, and not just basically streaming it for people to listen to. So the problem is with the live stream, they're not able to differentiate that because it's happening live. So in order for them to be protecting those copyrights and protecting DMCA laws, as soon as something gets picked up as something that's being played live as a copyright that's not owned by, I don't own that intellectual property, they can actually shut down my stream immediately. So so unfortunately we can't do that, but I go live mainly because I enjoy hanging out and talking to you guys, getting to know the people who are, either watch my videos or subscribe to my videos, and just kind of really, it's a way to connect with people more than anything. I'd like to know you guys, just to kind of chat and hang out, talk about really anything, And trust me, I mean, if I could do the live reactions, I think that would be really cool. It would be a lot of fun to be able to do that, but unfortunately, just nowadays with how everything works, it's all a giant business, right? So if anybody thinks that you're potentially taking money from them, they're going to shut you down.
It's realities.
But the reality of it is, like, I do these videos for fun. I do these videos because I enjoy listening to music. I do vocals for 3 different projects, 3 different bands essentially. I genuinely enjoy music. I really don't make money off the videos. If people buy like the merch that I've created, yeah, I'll make a little bit of money, but I've actually tried to make the merch as cheap as possible so they're more obtainable and affordable instead of me making profit on them. That's the only way I will really make money is if people buy merch or they maybe subscribe to my Patreon or anything like that. But I really don't like to, like, I might bring it up that they're there and you can go check it out, and that's a great way to support me, but I don't like to try to shove it down anybody's throat. I don't like to do anything like that because it's never a requirement. I'm at the end of the day just hanging out, talking. You guys watching my videos, commenting, giving me other suggestions for music. That's what's fun for me. I mean, in a perfect world, would I love to not have to work a regular job and do something like this for a living? Of course, but that's just not realistic. Bolivia and Paraguay and Argentina. These countries were much more sympathetic to the fugitives of the war crimes they committed. Interesting. I mean, who was that? The guy that they arrested here that they found out was a Nazi, like, labor camp worker or a general or.
The guy was like 80 years old. And
yeah, from New York or whatever.
Yeah, he died like a year later or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I recall.
I mean,
it was in the news.
Yeah.
A couple months ago or.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll catch you. We'll throw you in jail. Find out you were a Nazi.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know what's really sad about that? You know, is like a lot of I mean, there's like the Hitler Youth, and like that was sad.
Brazilian rock. Have you heard of that?
Okay, let me see what I just missed. East Carolina Motocross. Any bands that you've discovered through this channel that you really like? Yeah. So I say one of the biggest reasons, you know, I started doing these is because, so one of my favorite is a band called Deviloof. They're a deathcore band. They're Visual K. I'm not sure what's going on with them. It looks like they may not be a thing anymore, and it looks like a couple of the members made a new band, but they released it. They're pretty extreme. They're deathcore, Japanese deathcore band. They released a video called Torture, and it's just heavy. It's just all over the place, and I'm like, wow, these guys are nuts, and that made me want to check out more Japanese bands, right? So Deviloof, Jaluka. I think there's a man called Nazaire, Nocturnal Bloodlust, they're killer. What's the other band? Igor. So I've actually found a lot of bands that I really like. And I've also I found genres that I don't like. And not because it's bad, just because it's not my personal preference. Like, what's it called? Like Japanese idol groups. I'm not a huge fan, but that's okay. You know, everything has their place, right? Yeah. I mean, I like, Jaluka, Nocturnal Bloodlust, Nazaire, Deviloof, Igor, I've really liked. Even a Polish band reached out to me. They're called Mentally Blind. I dig them a lot. They're straightforward, like just your normal metalcore. And I dig Bandmade. I dig Love Bites. They don't typically fall in the same genre that I typically listen to music, but I like them for what they are, and I can see their talent. I'm trying to think of other bands. I've done so many now because I'm doing it. I mean, in theory, but I definitely dig some Visual K bands. I think they're pretty cool. Depending on, I say Visual K deathcore because Visual K isn't a genre of music. It's more of a kind of a style that can fit movies, music, whatever. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Love Bites says, it is a pity that Brazilian rock practically died here. There are a few high-quality bands to recommend. Yeah, I mean, but think about it. Things come and go. It just depends on the times, right? Just, I've been in, you can say the music scene or the metal scene since 2000 and, I mean, it's not forever, but since 2013. That was my band's first show, and just the way things are looked at musically, the way bands are being signed by labels, what's attractive to people now in my style of music, it's changed drastically. You are younger than me, so a lot of the death and metalcore stuff came after my time. Yeah. That's kind of like with my dad. It's kind of the same thing. I've had to kind of introduce my father into some heavier bands that he's liked. Like when I grew up, my dad grew up and he liked bands like AC/DC, Striper, Black Label Society, Black Sabbath, and then but that's more so like when he was growing up, and then when I was growing up, he was listening to bands kind of like heavier. At the time, was like bands like Mudvayne, System of a Down, Tool, Perfect Circle. And bands like this. So I grew up listening to more along the lines of that. So and then Linkin Park, and then from there I was like the new metal thing. So I got really big into new metal. So like Korn, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and then Mudvayne, System of a Down, and then I went to Ozfest and saw Slipknot, and then I just gradually started to listen to heavier and heavier and heavier music until I kind of found what really fit what I really enjoyed. Love Bites for Ville fans says that just as a large part of the history and crimes of the sickle and hammer gang are thrown under the rug, the Nazis are always mentioned. But my ancestors fled Poland's search, ending this theme. Yeah, those damn Russians. I think the Nazis are always mentioned because they're such. Oh God, wasn't me. I think the Nazis are always mentioned because of just how historic it all is, and just the drastic measures of what Hitler had done. I don't think it's to downplay anything in particular. Cold Rain featuring Ryle from Crystal Lake. Yeah. That Mayday's cool. Personally, I mean, Crystal Lake is one of the best bands that's come out of Japan in a long time. I mean, they're killer. I mean, that's a group of really talented guys. Other than that, it would be Crossfaith. Crossfaith's killer too. Excluding the Japanese bands that I fell in love with, I can't like new Western bands anymore. Maybe Ginger. I'm not a fan of Tatiana and Ginger. I'm pretty sure that's her name. I've never gotten a Ginger. I personally, if you're looking for a good female-fronted band, I really like Spirit Box. Spirit Box is killer. Courtney LaPlante is her name. Spirit Box is really cool. Check out this. What's the song called? I can't think of the name. Let me look it up for you. It's actually speaking of Ryle from Crystal Lake, he features on a version of that. It's called Holy Roller. So the whole song is called Holy Roller. It's really cool. She's killer, and then she also does so she also has another one that features Ryo Kinoshita from Crystal Lake in it, and it's awesome. But yeah, Courtney LaPlante's awesome. Spirit Box is cool, but yeah, they're really cool. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping up the stream here. It's past midnight. That's my 2-hour limit. I got a lot of crap to do tomorrow too. But again, for those of you who are new to my stream, U-Day Maker, Love Bites Brazil fans, guys, East Coast Carolina motocross. Thank thank you so much for hanging out. Welcome to the stream. Every Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go live just to hang out and talk to you guys, just kind of how we did tonight. So thank you so much for hanging out. Be on the lookout throughout the week for more reaction videos. Look to comment on those, give me new suggestions. It's a lot of fun being able to do this with you guys. I'm considering starting the stream a little bit earlier and making it go 3 hours instead of 2. Maybe start at like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time instead of 10. But guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream. I appreciate all of you coming in as always. Donut Man, Socrates, you never fail me there. So thank you very much. I definitely appreciate it. Speaking of Germany, you still need to give null positive a second chance. You're right, I do. I need to check out more null positive. I have a lot of videos on my watch list still that I need to check out, and hopefully I can start getting to those since I moved into my new place and I have some more time. So, but thank you guys as always, and Love Bites, get some sleep. East Carolina Motocross, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it, guys. I'll see you next Friday if you want to come hang out, and I will try to check out your comments and view the stuff throughout the week on my videos. Thank you guys.